Imagine walking into a room where every single person assumes you don't belong. They don't say it out loud, but you can see it in their eyes. The doubt, the pity, and the "oh, poor thing." Now imagine walking out of that same room years later, not just proving them wrong, but building something so impactful that the same people now rely on you. This is not a feel-good story. It's not a tale of inspiration carefully wrapped with a happy ending. No, this is about a woman who had every reason to quit, to accept what life handed her, to stay in the box society built for her. But instead, she said, screw that, and rewrote the script completely. Welcome to another episode of Untold Tech Success Stories, where we dive into the journeys of people who didn't just beat the odds, they flipped the whole game. Let's talk about Farida Bedwei. If you haven't heard her name before, that's about to change, because trust me, her story isn't one you'd forget easily. Born in Nigeria in 1979, but raised in Ghana. At just 1 year old, doctors gave a diagnosis that would shape the rest of her life: cerebral palsy. Now, if you know anything about how the world works, you already know what this meant. The expectations were low, the opportunities even lower. People assumed she'd always need help, always depend on others, always be limited. And for a while, maybe she believed that too. Because when you grow up hearing what you can't do, it's easy to internalize it. But then something shifted: passion for computers. While other kids were out playing, she was glued to a screen, fascinated, obsessed, alive. The way lines of code could create something out of nothing, it felt like magic. And for the first time, she wasn't thinking about what she couldn't do. She was thinking about what she could build. By 15, she was coding. By 19, she was already working as a software engineer. But let's be real, talent alone doesn't silence doubters. The tech world is already brutal for women. And here she was, a woman with a disability, trying to break into an industry that barely acknowledged people like her existed. Did she let that stop her? Not a chance. Fast forward, and she co-founded Logiciel, a fintech company that transformed banking in Ghana. Millions now use the technology she helped create. And the irony, some of the same people who once looked at her with pity are now relying on her work to manage their finances. But wait, there's more. Farida didn't just break barriers in tech. She went on to become a published author, writing Definition of a Miracle, a novel that challenges stereotypes about living with disabilities. She's also been a key advocate for disability rights, using her platform to push for better accessibility and inclusion in Africa.
And to prove myself and to prove to others that they should give other people with disabilities the chance. Because I see myself as a pioneer in this field, and I realized that I realized from a long time ago that my performance would either make or break the opportunities for other people with disabilities.
As if that wasn't enough, she's even spoken on the TEDx stage, sharing her insights on solving African problems our own way. This is where most stories would wrap up with a neat little bow, and that's how she succeeded against all odds. But let's get one thing straight. Her success didn't erase the struggle. She still had to prove herself over and over again. She still had to deal with a world that wasn't designed for her. But the difference, she never let it define her. But here's the real question: why aren't we talking about her more? Her story is not just about tech. It's about the audacity to exist in spaces where people don't expect you to. It's about refusing to shrink yourself just because the world can't see your full potential yet. Why does it take certain types of success for people to start paying attention? If Farida had built a flashy social media app instead of revolutionizing banking, would she be a household name by now? And more importantly, how many other geniuses are being overlooked just because they don't fit into society's expectations? Let's talk in the comments. And if there's someone you think deserves the spotlight, drop their name below. We just might tell their story next. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, and share to stay updated about my latest posts.